Welcome back. In this quick video, I will explain why using .NET CLI to set up your solution structure is often better than relying entirely on Visual Studio, especially for scalable and clean architecture based projects. We'll also look at two automation options which we have already um, executed in the last video, in the last part 2, that batch file and the PowerShell script, and today we will also dissect its contents. So why use .NET? Why use CLI for ASP.NET Core project setup? So using .NET CLI offers platform independence, repeatability, and clarity. It allows you to script your setup and reuse it across teams, maintain consistency in folder structure and naming, automate project setup in CI/CD pipelines. This is especially useful for building real-world enterprise applications like our collaborative project management system. And ideal for repeatable scaffolding tasks. So let us see the overview of the batch file. This is a Windows shell script for executing multiple .NET CLI commands. Okay, so what these do is it creates solution projects, add them to solution, adds required project references, convenient. Is double click to run the entire setup, and useful for Visual Studio developers who prefer Windows scripting. So let's just see what this file looks like. So I have opened the batch file in a notepad. As you can see, echo off is the first statement, and then rem. These rem statements are all just like commenting what it is going to do. So you can see that these are all the commands that we have already studied in the part 2. .NET new solution, it creates the new solution, and it creates the core class library, and it adds the class library to the solution, and it creates the infrastructure class library, and it adds the infrastructure class library to the solution, and it adds the reference of the project reference of the core project to the infrastructure project. In similarly for the web API project, and this statement actually starts the solution. It opens the solution in Visual Studio community, and then it pauses. All right. So let's see the overview of the PowerShell script. The PowerShell script does exactly the same thing, but it is understandably more flexible and secure. It is more secure than batch scripts, suitable for advanced logic and cross-platform tasks, and needs execution policy set. Now, remote signed means, I will show you. Set execution policy remote signed is means, if you are downloading it from internet, then if you like this remote signed, then it doesn't require digital signature appended to it. Okay, and scope is that process, and then execute, which you have already seen. .front/setup script, that was the name of this PS1 PowerShell script, and then hit enter. It will run the PowerShell file. So let us see the PowerShell file content also. So this is my PowerShell script. So hash PowerShell script setup collab pm system.ps1, and this is the comment statement, and this is the purpose, and write host is actually written to the host creating solution, and this is also written like a message, and then create the new solution, and then write host creating core project, and add these commands to add new class library for the core project, and then to the solution is added, and similarly for all the other commands that we have already seen, CLI commands. And finally, building solution by giving .NET build command, and write host opening solution in Visual Studio, start process. Here it is start process. Okay, collab pm system.solution. Here it is digital signature block, which will be taken in the new lecture next part. So how the PowerShell script is digitally signed. Okay, so let's see what comes next. Just final thoughts. Use CLI scripts to boost productivity and reliability, and combine with GitHub for versioning and team use. You can put these scripts in the Visual Studio for team use, and save time during demonstrations and onboarding, and clean, consistent, and professional setups. Okay, so I have already walked through the script contents. So if you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then share it with friends and put your valuable comments. Thank you.